The normal period for a bachelor's degree is...
Don't dare throw stones when you live in a glass house. Famous thinkers view the inherent danger of life not just as a physical threat, but as an unavoidable companion of growth, adventure, and truly living. Avoiding all risks offers no actual safety. Instead, it often leads to a life unfulfilled. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing. As soon as there is life, there is also a danger. The greatest danger in life is not to take the adventure. Always challenge yourself. Only those who risk going too far can possibly find out how far one can go. Security is mostly a superstition. It does not exist in nature. Avoiding danger is no saver in the long run than outright exposure. The chief danger in life is that you may take too many precautions. The real danger in life is not death, but living an evil life. This is the conversation on OKFM 99.5. For now, up to 6 o'clock, the weekend edition. My name is Trokon Wrepue, taking us live on social media, specifically Facebook and YouTube. Blessing namely Aunt April and Carmen. The team is set to bring you the best in evening radio presentation. Stay with us. Let's now go across the African continent, hear what's making news in other parts. Then we come back to Liberia. At least 48 people have died in Nigeria after an overloaded boat with an estimated 70 passengers capsized on a river in a remote area of the northern western Sokoto state. We are devastated at the moment. Hosiani Shehu, a resident of Goro village, told the BBC, explaining that the accident had happened on Thursday morning as people were heading out to the rice farm along the banks of the river. Photos taken at the village square of mosques show many of the recovered bodies wrapped in mats and traditional cloths ahead of their burial. It is believed that so far around 10 people have been rescued. Bashir Ismail Garu, a lawmaker of the area, told the BBC that many of the victims were children. Two Mexicans have been arrested in South Africa after police uncovered a multi-million-dollar crystal laboratory in enough, that's crystal drug laboratory in enough of the country. The lab was raided overnight at a farm near the town of Musani in the Limpopo province near South Africa's border with Zimbabwe. 2 Zimbabweans and a Malawian national were also arrested. Police say it followed 2 months investigation into suspicious activities at the farm. Truck and equipment worth around 600 million rand, roughly $37 million, 27 million pounds were seized, as well as an undisclosed amount of cash. This development now, the Democratic Republic of Congo is gearing up to roll out an Ebola vaccine, with some doses being used as part of a trial to see if it is effective against the Bundibugyo species of the virus that is currently circulating in the country. The available vaccine does help protect against the Zaire species of Ebola, but currently there are no proven vaccine or treatment for the new virus. The rollout comes as the World Health Organization, that's the WHO, issued a new warning that Ebola was growing exponentially in the north and east of the DR Congo, and the spread of infections now cover an area bigger than France. Close to 2,500 people have now died in this outbreak, which was declared 3 months ago. Our thoughts and prayers are with them. Let's go for a break here from some of our sponsors. We will be back. When we come back, a lot of things to talk about. We will endeavor to speak with a very young Liberian who has been at the forefront of this entire cybercrime. One of those at the forefront of this entire cybercrime law that has been, or act that has been signed into law by President Joseph Boakai. We'll hold conversation with him. Right after him, we will have with us the head of the Liberia Standards Authority. Will be our guest at 5 p.m. on today. It's loaded, and we'll be here up to 6. Stay with us. Let's take a break.
Is your car sick? Is your car having engine problem, wheel alignment, or air conditioning problems? Then, here's your solution. Here's the medication for your car. Automed's Garage on Girdle Street, opposite the Old General Ministry, is the right clinic for all your cars. With our local and international professional mechanic, we get your car back in good shape. Automed's Garage. We have a multi-spray booth that leaves your car sparkling, or Car Care Center, CCC, that takes care of your car interior and exterior. We get your car the modern rims and doors handle. Let's just say we pimp your ride. Make your car look modern at Automed's Garage on Girdle Street. We have a professional tire center that change your tire in no time. With our state-of-the-art diagnosing machine, we know exactly what's wrong with your car. No guessing. Our tow service is one of its kind. Tow your car for a reasonable amount if we won't fix your car. And for free if Automeds will service your car. Our prices are unbeatable and our customer service is outstanding. So whatever your cars need, call Automeds Garage on Girdle Street, opposite the Old General Ministry, on 0555-535-307 or 0777-884-077. Automeds Garage. We care for your cars. I become a peasant from my happiness.
From the heart of
Are you looking for quality and healthy beats for whatever occasion for reasonable price? Then worry no more. Brown Hop Liberia got you covered. At Brown Hop Liberia, we sell healthy, hygienical raised pig for only $350 Liberian dollars per pound. Our pigs are born and raised in Liberia according to high European standards of hygiene and care. You are welcome to visit our farm in Bombing County or come to UCI at Freeport to choose your pig, weigh it, pay, and take it home. For more information, inquiry, or reservation, Contact Brown Hub Liberia via WhatsApp on 0770-888-804 or call 0880-900-041. Brown Hub Liberia. Quality you see, cleanliness you can trust.
We are brave. We are passionate.
Hey, Tanu, I need cash and there is no ATM around here.
Really? Did you try the EcoBank POS?
POS? I said I need cash. What is it about POS?
Judy, you can get your cash through the POS. All you need to do is to visit any EcoBank Express point or petrol trade gas station and request to use the POS. Guess what? It can also take other bank cards.
Oh, widow. You mean cards from banks overseas too?
Yes, it should just be your Visa card.
Wow, great. So when there is no ATM around me, I'll just use the POS to get my money fast. EcoBank has made it too easy, man. EcoBank and innovation that real 5 and 6 so.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
LEC, yeah, LEC. Good morning, Mahawa. Thank God you're working with LEC and you are here. Mahawa, I get a big problem, yeah. They finished stealing my LEC meter, yeah. I don't even know what to do.
Collie, don't worry. All you need to do is to go to the nearby LEC Customer Service Center or LEC Waterside office. And when you go there, you must carry a letter telling them that your meter was stolen. Tell them the main day they steal your meter, the meter number, the place you live in, your full name, and your phone number. Now, all you need to do.
What will happen when I carry the letter?
Good question, Cody. LEC gets some record there. They call them the LEC Customer Service Agent. They will take the letter and look at all the things that you put inside and quick, black or close that meter so nobody will be able to buy it or use it. Or when they put money on it, it will not work. If you don't report that your meter that was stolen, somebody will be using it. And if you were having money on the meter before they steal it, when they give your new meter, the money will still be on your meter, yeah? Until you yourself you choose to use it when they finish.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Good news there. That the only way they steal the meter and they steal the LEC wire, then it will stop. Mahawa,
Yeah.
I want to ask you, yeah? I want to put current in my new house. What am I going to do for LEC to help me to put current in our house?
Hey, brother Cody, that one is an easy thing. Just go to LEC office and tell them that you won't come in your new house. They will give you one paper. They call a application form. On that form, you will put your full name, the place you live in, your phone number, and put any of your ID, like number 1, national ID card, 2, passport, number 3, photos card, 4, driver license. The LEC people then will look at all the things and Google when it correct. The LEC people then will send their workers with one paper called service order in your community to check good and see whether your new house get good wiring and installation for them to put current inside. Right after that, they will tell you how much you will pay to a bank account. If that single phase meter, you will pay $79.10 USD. But on a 3-phase meter, you will pay $384.20 USD. When the finance people then see the money in their system, LEC will say, well, quick to put current in your new house.
I wonder, all right, not bad at all. But Mahawa, I won't know again, yeah? If my meter stop working or I put money inside and I won't go, what am I going to do?
My brother, that one is easy. You can report anything. I mean anything. Like you have to do with LEC business inside by going to LEC Customer Service Center, or you call LEC Call Center on 4500, or you send an email to customerservice@lecliberia.com, or you can even carry a letter telling them what happened to you, whether the meter stop working or you put money and the money can go. LEC will look at all the things that you put in your letter. Check it, Google. Then LEC will send workers quick to your house and change your meter or to show you how to do it.
Thank you plenty, Mahawa. They say anything you don't know, a people pass you.
Oh, yeah.
I know what to do now.
Oh, okay, well, let's see, Okwadi. LEC is committed to providing reliable service and supporting every customer. LEC is committed to providing reliable service and supporting every customer. Report problems promptly and follow the proper procedure for faster assistance.
Liberia Electricity Corporation, powering Liberia, serving you better.
A message from the Liberia Electricity Corporation, LEC.
They make the light shine so bright. I tell you, yeah. LEC. Fellow Liberian, my fellow Liberian.
The Liberia Revenue Authority, LRA, informs all taxpayers and the general public of the ongoing registration exercise for medium and large taxpayers in preparation for the transition to the value-added tax VAT regime. The registration process includes the deployment of an electronic invoicing system in accordance with Section 55C of the Revenue Code of Liberia as amended and the Income Tax EFD regulation. All concerned taxpayers are encouraged to register online on the LRA website www.lra.gov.lr by clicking on the Online Services tab, selecting GST or VAT registration and completing the registration process. A team from the LRA will visit your premises to provide support for the registration process. Taxpayers are strongly advised to fully cooperate with the LRA registration teams to ensure successful registration and smooth deployment of the electronic invoicing system. Failure to comply with the registration requirements may result in penalties as prescribed under the amended Revenue Code, including other punitive measures. Please note that pursuant to the Liberia Tax Amendment Act of December 2025, approved on March 24, 2026, the Goods and Services Tax GST rate has been adjusted from 12% to 13% as part of efforts to facilitate a smooth transition to the value-added tax VAT system in 2027. For more information, visit the LRA website www.lra.gov.lr or call 0770 572 572. Signed, Margaret P. Crote, Commissioner, Domestic Tax Department.
Fellow Liberian, fellow Liberian, my fellow Liberian.
Your favorite RLJ Kenneja Resort and Villas is new and improved with top-notch first-class services guaranteed to make you feel pampered and special as our royal guests. Ideally located on the RI Highway, a few minutes drive from the rehab junction, right in front of the Atlantic Ocean, you are assured of a peaceful, serene atmosphere of a home away from home. The ingredients for our Liberian meals are freshly picked from our garden to give you that unforgettable taste of Liberian cuisine. Our villas are designed and equipped to ensure every night spent with us is a memorable one. We are well positioned to host conferences and seminars of all sizes, as well as outdoor events like garden weddings and parties. Book your upcoming events and leave the rest for us to handle with 100% satisfaction guarantee. You can reach us on 0770-533-415 or email us at reservations@kennejaresort.com.lr. Visit our website on www.rljkennejaresort.com.lr. RLJ Kenneja Resort and Villas, for memories worth repeating.
Thank you. Welcome back, and thanks for rejoining us here on the conversation on OKFM 99.5. Quickly, let's ramble some of the issues here unfolding back home. So, the biggest news of the week has been the arrest, subsequent detention, and the charges levied against Her Excellency Joel Howard Taylor, former Vice President of Liberia. And, you know, it came as a surprise to a lot of people, including you and me, that the police will have picked up the former vice president, especially in connection to this entire drug saga. So she was picked up on Wednesday, taken to the LMP headquarters. She underwent questioning for several hours, over 6 hours to bank count. And then on the evening hours of Wednesday, the Ministry of Justice or the Joint Security Task Force investigating or go do with the ongoing probe will go directly ahead to charge her with multiple offenses. On yesterday, there were arrangements made, according to sources, to take her to court, which is her constitutional right to be arraigned before a court of competent jurisdiction to be investigated under our law, because the law says when you are accused, you remain innocent until proven guilty. That is the rule here under this jurisprudence. So Madam Taylor should have gone to the court. Unfortunately for her, there were some medical issues that came out. She will be rushed to the GRMS hospital in Congo Town, where she stayed last night. And on today again, I saw a couple of live feeds from there, where some of our colleagues are doing streaming well, going live, bringing us the happenings. And I cannot tell whether she's left or not. I know the police RG Gregory Coleman arrived there, but I will keep checking to know about her whereabouts, whether she's been taken back to the LMP headquarters or not. So, you know, it is quite interesting. And the way we react to almost everything that happened in the country. When this drug saga, when the whole thing started, and this has been the country's problem, everyone started pointing, accusing thinkers, especially people from the opposition. They started calling names. Some of the names that came out, I know people pointed fingers at Magdala Cooper, political advisor to the president. People have been pointing fingers, and even today, people are still pointing fingers at the children of the president. People said the office of the vice president, the speaker are involved, and the list goes on. The government, some of us here, we sat on this radio and called the government to make the name public of some of the people who were involved. So the Joint Security and the Ministry of Justice told us that the investigation would take time because of its transnational nature. So in the 19 million drug bust at Rabos International Airport, they will go on to name people. Subsequently, a week or few later, another major drug bust at Rabos International Airport on the Rabos International Airport highway, totaling a little over 300 million or 300 million the sack. And we were made to understand by the security forces that the drug were not meant for Liberia, but Liberia was being used as a transit route. And to get people discouraged from using our country, thorough investigation will be launched, those involved, because for people to bring that huge amount of drug into your country, they may have been connected with some very top people. And you see how it has been ongoing with the suspension of people, with the indictment of people, and everyone kept knocking on the back of the government that the government must investigate. President Bwake should not play politics. Everyone involved should be brought to book. And people have been named. People are in jail. People are undergoing investigation. People have been dismissed, suspended from their positions. Today, when I was saying today, now I've been literal. It's been Joel Howard Taylor now, and then the entire support for the investigation cut off from one side. No one has said Madam Taylor, even including me who sit here. I said Madam Taylor is guilty. No, she's not. She's been charged. She will be forwarded to court. Her rights will be granted her under our laws. She will be investigated. If she wants bench trial, that will happen. If she wants jury trial, that will happen. And the court will set the record straight as to whether she's guilty or not. Some of the same very people who have been calling for thorough, impartial, independent investigation are the same very people who are taking it back on the ongoing investigation. And you know, sometimes I just laugh. Like I said, it's been a whole big problem for the country. One, we do not trust our national institutions. In some cases, they've given reasons for which people should not trust them. But on the overall, I think we should trust them. Two, we have not had faith in our own justice system. Three, we take side. All of us will take a particular position before even investigation starts. Like I was saying from the beginning, when we heard about the drug, people started linking people, calling names. At that moment, we've taken a particular position already, and we get it stuck at the back of our mind that if it is not the people that we've named, it should not be anybody else. Any other reason for which we name them, the reasons are best known to ourselves. So it put us in a very difficult position to make a turnaround, to say, look, let's agree with what the investigators are saying. Because Trokon have already said John Brown, for example, is the one connected. So if Peter Paul is invited and the joint security tells me or the country that Peter Paul is connected allegedly and we're investigating, once I have it at the back of my mind that John Brown is connected, I will deem that investigation not faith. And that is what happened to the country. All of us sit down, as soon as something happens, everybody take position. The drug bust, everybody say, oh, the vice president, the president's children. Some people say the office of the vice president. Some people said the speaker. Some people say Bwake himself knew about it. Those are people who have the thought clock at the back of their mind. And to get it out, it's difficult. Once they move with that, whatever thing the investigation point to, they will deem it political, they will deem it, irrelevant, they will deem it as witch hunt, and the list goes on. When you read a statement from some of the political parties and even former President Weah, then you get sick. I don't know, but to allow this investigation to go the way it's supposed to go, we must give our security institutions the chance. The U.S. Embassy, all of us, every year round, there are partner help us to investigate. The U.S. Embassy has confirmed to OKFM that it is actively supporting, the U.S. government is actively supporting and involved with the investigation. Still, people are saying XYZ. All of the people who were pressuring yesterday, the government must investigate. Once Vice President Joel Howard Taylor was being named, and allegedly, having linked to what's ongoing, those people took back their support for the investigation and said it was a witch hunt because one of their own is being touched. And that is the tragedy we face in the country. Once I'm Trokon, right? And somebody who's closer to me is being named in anything. Whether I had trust in that thing, I'm going to withdraw my trust because somebody who's closer to me is being linked. And I think it's terrible for the country. Nobody's saying Vice President Taylor is guilty or is the doer of the act. Even the Ministry of Justice said these findings do not prove guilt, as the Vice President, the former Vice President, will go through the procedures of our legal process. Yet still, all of us, some of us, have already taken the position that by inviting even former President by inviting Joel Howard Taylor, it means the investigation is no longer credible. And I'm just sitting and I'm thinking, I mean, what kind of people are we? We call for investigation. We call for our partners to come. They've come. They've admitted that they are here. They are investigating. Once somebody is named, you say, no, we not agree again because the person who we are called and the person not supposed to be a part. Who tells you that that's how investigation goes? Even if my poor father who's in we district is named, I will still give that investigation a chance to go on. With open mind. That's how civilized people behave. That's how people who want to see a flourishing democracy from every aspect will behave. Instead of everybody just taking it back, everybody just taking a position. You know, when this drug thing came out, everybody, you're investigated. You're deal with people who are found culpable. Now the investigation has taken trend. People are saying, no, we that were calling for it yesterday, we not agree again because certain people have been named. We called on the government to do what is right. My pa, when you need it, you call it. You bring him over and deal with him. Just make sure people's rights are not violated. Everything is done in accordance with the law. All of us year round have frowned on drug in the country. We are investigating drug, then people are taking it back. People are making comments. People are issuing statements that threaten the peace of the country. Only because somebody who's closely connected to them is being named. People will say, oh, they are sacrificing small people because they want to cover up something. Somebody higher up is being named, they take her back again, oh, and they just won't get at the woman, and because the woman not from their political party. Nobody has ever said or will ever say, I mean, the vice president is guilty. No, we will follow the legal procedures. We will follow the legal procedures. And anyone else who is named will follow the same procedure. And we want to call on our Joint Security and the Investigative Task Force to be very impartial. Do without fear or favor. If we want to get rid of drug, if we want to kick drug out of this place, we must be determined, we must hold together, we must drop our mindset, we must move in one direction and give investigators the chance. At this point, we cannot retreat. At this point, it is not just Liberians who are investigating. Our partners have formed part of the investigation because of the interest. So nobody should come make people afraid. Oh, and we'll do that one only because one person is named. The best we can do is to follow up and ensure that these investigations are credible and follow the evidence adduced in court and follow what the judge decision or the court decision or the jury decision will be. Because we've all called for investigation. We've all described drug as a national embarrassment and a national emergency to the country. Today now investigation is ongoing, people are named. Just somebody name is called, everybody start concluding. Oh yeah, because I mean it's political reason. And so how do you know it's political? How do you know? So because Trokon sit on the radio and I talk the things I told me, I can't do certain things. So if something happened tomorrow and the Joint Security say we suspect Trokon and want to invade Trokon, the whole moreover will break down because Trokon is on the radio. No, I have to go and respond. I have to go and give and clear my side. I have to go and prove to the investigators that I'm innocent. That is how the law works. And not people tearing down each other, and not people promising to do unorthodox things because somebody is named. But other people were named here. They call other names. Today, it's Madam Taylor. Tomorrow, it could be somebody in higher ups who know investigation is continuing. The best we can do is to pressure our government to ensure that they do it impartially, so that nobody is scapegoating somebody, nobody is taking side with anybody because they are from their political party, or they are from their tribe, or they are from their ethnicity, and so on and so forth. We must go to this process with open mind, because drug is almost like a rain falling. It falls on every roof. It doesn't pick and choose. When it's raining in certain community, every roof, will get wet. Every roof will get wet. See the number of less fortunate young people and the number of drug users in our society today. Almost every household is directly or indirectly affected. This is the largest, below the 1990s and so on and so forth. But in my lifetime, this is the largest drug bust and investigation we have had we are having as a country. The last one I saw that I will refer to as the second for now was a 100 million drug. What did we do here? We went to court and we lost the case as a country. And people that were in plain view and everything, who went to the court and claiming they had their container and everything in which the drug was found, they left this country overnight. We lost the case. Today, we are in another one again. 300 million plus 19 million is almost 319 million plus drug we're talking about. The security agencies say well-connected people are involved with. Let's give it a chance. I know this politics and people owning people has been a long-term problem, but we have to change. We must make that change, because if we do not do, we are harming ourselves. We will continue to harm ourselves, harm the country, and it's going to be embarrassing for us at the end analysis. It's going to be embarrassing. Let us not prejudice the case. Let us not buy public sentiments. Let us not put the judicial system against the public. So you agree yesterday that the president and the government must investigate everyone involved. Today you disagree because somebody who's closer to you has been named. That is not sincerity. We must give the investigation a chance to move in the direction it's supposed to move. My only thing is, people should do it impartially. People have to be truthful in how they investigate it. People must do the right thing. People must observe people right. People must be given the right, the due process, and not arbitrary things done at any point in time. So, fellow Liberians, we must accept it. We have to stand up for our country. People are turning to millionaires here. People are turning very rich so fast, while the rest of us people think we are not serious. Some of us who do honest labor, people think we are not serious because the accelerating rate at which people are getting money and getting rich for some of these unorthodox practices, it's too high. It's high. So the rest of us, I can see broke that, me, we won't be broke, but what to do? We can use the same means to get money. But on a serious note, we have to give the investigation a chance. Let's see if we can talk to a few Liberians. Let's hear your thoughts. A lot has been said since this week. Yeah, let's hear your thought on the issue. And let's talk to some of you here on the line. Hello?
Good afternoon, Trokon.
Good afternoon, sir.
My name is Jeremiah J. Koo. I call from district number 17.
Let's hear you.
Trokon, I may appreciate you. To the issue of this drug, we need to depoliticize drug issue in this country. This is a national fight and a patriotic fight in my mind. We got to depoliticize it. And people that will keep, both from the government angle or opposition, that will keep politicizing, for me, I feel that they are unpatriotic. They don't love the country. This thing is killing the future of our country. And we are here talking this, talking that. We cannot be calling for this and then another thing. I'm a proud supporter of this government. I'm a proud supporter, but this is my point, that if the investigation will even bring out the name of the current president, President Barker, who are supposed, then I am calling on the American government to pick him up, just the same way they did to Venezuela president. This is my point. And not because I'm supporting and something that will come to kill me and kill my children, affect my children. You know, I have some all trying to struggle to support our children. At the end of the day, just they come and waste it. There are people who going through the thing, they are grieving. That children, they're looking like they are dead. Because they are not useful to them any longer. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Then people said, yeah, when you call for investigation, should we call people from Pluto? That one I asked on one of your sisters radio station, do we have capital citizens, small citizens now? People say, oh, they are arrested on the street. Where they get arrested, garden when they will go do and ready. Where they get arrested, they get dignified and they get taken and thrown in the pickup ball. Let's reflect. Let's go back to the days of former Vice President Joao Osman regime. When they need to go over, they need to get you tea to be drinking to get to the police station.
It's okay.
I can't understand.
It's okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let us do other ones. Hello.
Yeah. Hello, my guy. How you doing?
This is Trokon. Let's hear you. Thank you.
Trokon, sorry. Trokon, my name is Lieutenant Kamara, and I'm coming in from Brownsville.
Mm-hmm.
Trokon, it is true that you, some of you journalists are balanced, want to balance the story. We agree. But our problem, for some of us, our problem here is, now, we are not against the investigation on the former Vice President, right? We are not against the investigation. But what we are against here is, they got other people who were linked, who were called, they stay after the passing.
That wouldn't know.
We got 106. 106, they stay outside.
Who name the investigators name 106?
The police director, who name
no, no, Chief. Hello, hello, Bossman. Bossman. Hello.
Yeah.
So if somebody call your name now without the investigators finding out either you're actually linked or not, they should just pick you up?
No.
Because I know what you're talking about, right? I see a lot of people on Facebook, several people accusing Gregory Como, but I think the investigators will have to investigate and find probable cause before they can invite somebody.
Even this investigator that you are talking about, the investigators are not even clean. They said those who preach equity should come with clean hands.
But did you listen to Clarence? Did you listen to Clarence reading the U.S. Embassy respond to the American government had investigators here? But when you listen to Clarence now, then you will have to have it at the back of your mind that it is not just Liberians who are doing the investigation. Our partners are involved. So if you got foreigners, you got foreign troops involved, then how can you twist anything?
We agree. So, Trokon, this is the issue, right? So even during 4%, we are and the whole middle case, they have foreign nationals that were helping us in the investigation. Government still lost the case.
Government lost the case. Government lost the case in the court. The foreign nationals were helping you with the police to round up people, right? In the courtroom, it was the government that was in the courtroom. It was the country. So it was not foreign partners again. I was there. So that's the thing.
Hello?
Yeah, just end and so we'll take others.
Yeah, let me just end quickly. So this is what I'm saying. So we agree that we got our foreign national helping us in this investigation, but it should not be like, let's put this other person and then we imprison them or we detain them. Then the other people we send them to standard investigation. The other people passing around, the other people passing also. So what I just saying with my here is, government will not go after people in the drug case and then lost the case.
All right.
When you lost the case, it will be disaster for the
Thank you. Let's hold you there. Hello.
Hello, Trokon.
Let's hear you, please.
Yeah, Trokon, I'm Isaac Corner of Niger Junction.
Isaac.
Yeah, Trokon, I said the problem with getting Paso. You always see men for get people with that. You know,
Man, leave me with Pastor Ben. I know that thing cool more than you. Let's go.
men
That thing under that glove. I know Pastor more than you. Go ahead.
The people want to make, they want to be, they want that job, they want each around job, to man to in a scenario that everybody when in that country will be focusing on what God is your being, your former person, when in that things to be about why the other people who will know, why for discussing at me or in the corner, in the kitchen, in the bathroom, for discussing at me, and the other self-as they God said, they won't survive already. So that particular thing they do, we're watching them, we're observing them, we're watching them, they go in that international community, should watch their country, all of them watch their country, they all see how the particular thing will go. Nobody can be fooled, they can be
But in the international community there when they pick out Joel.
They will do this, they will not do that cocoa eating a woman for nobody will do or nobody will try it. They will watching them with the mouth, watching them, watching all of them. We're not sleeping in the country.
But you don't pay. All right. Hello.
Yeah, hello. Good evening.
Let's hear you, boss.
Trokon, this is Emmanuel TV, and I tell you from the township of Wrepue. My point this evening, I want to slightly disagree with your analysis. Because you are not angry why it is Johnny Boladin who have made two Wrepue of receiving $10,000 US.
Did you hear Johnny say on any radio or wrote any press statement to say Wrepue receive money?
Yeah.
Where?
It is confirmed.
Where?
From the very idea, first one for yellow on
the RG say Johnny say he told money. That what the RG say? My man, I beg you, man. How the RG will go tell the country say I told Brad? No, it's not true. Not the news that I edited. That's not true. I edited the news here. Not true. I challenge you. It's not on our news. You heard it at the right place. Correct that mistake first. Hey, Postman, correct that mistake. No, not true. Yeah, sorry for that. I can't allow you to do that. Hello.
Yeah,
if Gregory admitted or anybody admitted to it now on OKFM News here because I sit in our newsroom as the director of news and I can also edit. Let's hear you.
Hello, Trokon.
Yes, sir. Let's hear you.
Yeah, Michael calling from Kawe.
Michael, go ahead.
Yeah, I really know what's wrong with these CDC people. They always put the party first. Everybody are praying for being the our president, the former vice president. The only thing they would motor for all to get justice or for justice to prevail.
But Bossman, that's what I was talking about. How the country has been behaving, right? Even the case with the former Chief Justice, the people who were in opposition then were marching around here. And said she was not guilty. So that's the problem. It's not just about one party alone. We must be talking to ourselves. Let us look for let us look for party. Let's look for Liberians that are doing it. I don't want to be attacking people on the party. Let's say Liberians who are doing it.
What made was really country and made out of error because they were not checking one another to people to correct one another. So everybody donating they have people cheering squad, just supporting them.
Okay.
No, I lead other people they think about leader can charge small.
All right, that's all you there. You are not speaking to the issue. Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, take the Jeff
Call your name first. Let's know where you're calling.
Okay, I'm rolling 2.
Rolling 2 from where?
From Ghannasville.
All right, Ghannasville. Let's hear you running.
Yeah. I just want Gregory Kumo in his name to just be strict in how they carry out the arrest. You know, we don't have to be politician or a people that call on radio every day to know the differences of what's going on. Like the other guy they call King. who had that company that were carrying the drug.
Yeah, the cargo company.
Okay, they took that guy for a long time before they could even arrest him.
Do you know that mean what out of the country he had to come according to the government?
Yeah, he came, but when he came, he was not arrested at once. They keep sending for him, to get statement for him. Then you could treat him like that. Then how much more about this prominent woman? You see, so if you do it like that, even we who are not high or who are not politicians, we can read between the lines and know that, there are some secret thinking. There are some political, everything that they're doing.
So you think the investigation of Madam Taylor is political?
The way she was arrested, you can know that
Do you know the former vice president drove in her own car and went to the police station without being handcuffed? Nothing.
She drove in her own car, but the first thing she said on our table, let me get my lawyer. She wanted to go to her to get a lawyer.
That was her lawyer, eh?
She was denied.
But I asked him whether her lawyer was to her house.
What they say should be given to her on that part.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let's talk to at least 4 more persons. Hello.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Are you the boss? Let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm James Bond. Today I'm calling from the traffic Trokon. Trokon, the whole investigation, to be frank, the whole investigation is not fair. Let me frank here.
Why is not fair? Why you think so?
Okay. Through the same investigation started. So me came up, even the president, son me came up, sent up place or some audio concerning the president's son about the drugs really. Since
and what the audio said?
Sorry?
What the audio said?
The audio said the vice president's the president's son should get a goose back. Now so they will move on they will move on the bureau.
So wait, Bossman.
Yes.
If I wake up now and make a call to the police and say you get drugs, immediately police can arrest you.
No, but you respond to the people.
No, I asked a simple question. If I told the police that you get drugs, the police should just come and pick you up right now. I mean, a simple yes or no question down there, brother.
If now somebody that audio case, they were going to invite the person.
You know when the police can invite you or they can arrest you.
Listen.
When the police do internal investigation and know that there's probable cause to invite you. Not because somebody say Trokon can sit on the radio and Trokon get money or Trokon get this, then the police just call me and say Trokon come. The police will have to do their own small investigation. No. When I say on the radio say he's selling drugs, the police will not can pick you up. The police will have to trace your link and everything. So when somebody accuse anyone, the police can't just go there and go arrest. Then the police should even be arresting the vice president because people have said the vice president is involved.
But that's why they never came back to us. We the Liberian people as a security to tell us about the audio.
What kind of audio? What kind of audio?
The audio that they sent to Central.
Was it even legitimate audio in the first place? You verify that audio to know that it's legitimate. Me, I didn't verify it. I don't know. I didn't even listen to it, so I don't know.
No, but then they sort of tell us, then they know if that lie, if AI or what have you, they send somebody to the Wrepue and tell us.
Okay, let's hold you right there. 3 more persons. Let's hear you. Hello? Yeah, let's hear
you. Yeah, good. I sit down, I listen to you, so now I can get sick.
Check call your name first before you getting sick.
Money is Camara.
From where?
In my home again.
From where now?
When I sit down and listen to you, I can get sick. You know I can get sick?
Don't die from being sick.
Yeah, because your generation, you only look at one side, and when people talking from the United Party side, you don't check me there. You always check people.
Who talk against the United Party? Didn't you hear me saying the United Party were protesting when they were prosecuting the former Chief Justice here?
No, because that year you say, when I get a holy jewel,
Yeah.
So the manner inform, they hold the woman.
How a who?
You don't hold that.
We're gonna manner inform.
They suspend other people. They must suspend it. You must keep free there. That is for the B. Then he's talking about Jowia. Jowia may you where you read Jowia statement. It may you say you get sick, you get sick more. And I said for Jowia,
but me and you sick now. USA when you listen to me, you can get sick. We carry the GRMS too, so you can get sick more. Baba, see you, my man. Getting sick. Hello.
Yeah, Trokon.
Yeah, let's hear you. After you will take the last two.
Yeah, thank you, my dear brother Trokon. And for the record nation,
Pocket. I want it.
Pocket, and I don't use this even for our new destination.
Let's hear you, Pocket. But Pocket, why you calling for a new destination? Who looking for you? Well, who won't do anything to you? Oh, go ahead.
Okay. You know the difference between you and Donald or my dear brother Trokon? It's because you're professional, you moderate, and you tolerant at all. But to occupy the same position.
Our deputy spokesperson for what? For Ministry of Information, eh? Yeah. But why you doing that Pocket? Because I say when they invite Jewel, nobody won't talk on the Jewel can get through the process. What kind of man on now? The police go for Jewel, say you are infected. They do what?
For the benefit of the public to pay, but let me come with my own accusation.
Oh, you coming with accusation too?
Okay, let me come with my point. Okay, I raise the accusation. Let me come with my point.
You raise it?
Let me come with my point. I raise the accusation. But the manner in which the work is a former certified president for God's sake, man. That seat is not an ordinary seat. But I won't walk. Even when you got kids at King Hall, for her to be pointed with gun to her car, they say she's running away, they say she's a criminal. And you got her made for America and walking in your air condition, walking to the police station and say he had. Oh, come on, you have been rational.
Oh, so I'm not rational? I'm not rational?
Come on. There's no rational arrest in your tune.
Oh.
Come on.
All right.
Even if you commit a crime, the devil advocate. Even when you commit a crime,
you're gonna advocate devil. I'm not later. I'm not gonna do what devil advocate. Hello, let's talk to the last person. Let's hear you.
Thank you, Trokon. This is Sam. And I'm phoning from a Logan Town resident.
Yes, sir.
Trokon, you said something I think each and every one of us what we pay for to see how bad the drug issue in this country. I mean, it is not eradicated, but so it should be minimized to certain level because every one of us are there. But Trokon, this is where our disappointment comes in. The police RD told us 106 a maker. I took 10,000 from the drug cartel. That admitted alone. That alone. Then you say to professional scandal. Where in the world somebody admitted I committed crime and say go to a professional scandal? Where, Trokon? It's an issue of CDC. Although for some of us we are supporters of CDC, we are citizens.
No, but in my whole analysis, I didn't call CDC New. I was talking general about Liberians.
No, yeah, general. But we want to be general. So let's balance the discussion. The former president or the former vice president, the manner in which the woman she does not pull a flat rate, not escaping. You think we're not fair enough for graduates to imitate phone and call Joel say you are needed to the police station?
When something posts risks, who determines is it the security or we the ordinary boy? I know anything about security.
No, don't say it. So it means that you don't listen out on the air, right? You don't know what.
No, ask a simple question, my man. Stop that thing when people ask their answer. I'm asking when something posts risks to the security, I mean to the country, the security is supposed to say, or we the ones supposed to say, we who got no security knowledge.
No, don't say it, Trokon. You don't know the background from which small speaking.
You police or you NSA?
Yeah, quickly. What we saying? Let's look at the issue of her pursuit because it's talking about the issue of rape. If somebody has committed a crime and the person is about to escape, right? Police can use her pursuit. But that woman had never been invited one day. So since the drug investigation started, because according to Gregory, they had information on the woman. Had they ever invited her? That's what we say. So it was a clear attempt for the police to kill the former vice president. What they did.
Mercy. That's all you read there, and read out this announcement very quickly. There's former citizens in and out of Palatown that the general meeting has been scheduled for Monday, August 24, 2026 at 12 p.m. The meeting will focus on important matters concerning the development progress and general welfare of Palatown. All citizens are therefore strongly encouraged to attend and actively participate in the discussions. Please make every effort to attend as your presence and contributions are important to the development of our town. Thanks for your cooperation and commitment. Well, we now have with us in our studios Woody Joe. Woody Joe has been one of few individuals who've pushed for the Cybercrimes Act to be passed into law here. We understood that the president has signed that into law. Congratulations to them and the team and all who have fought. I know a couple of occasions I hosted Joe here and we talk about the cybercrime, art, and he gave us some very good explanation. But let's get to him and welcome him. Joe, welcome. Thanks for joining us again today.
Thank you. Thank you, Trokon. Thank you.
Do you sometimes miss the radio? You left journalism for a couple of years now. When I say left journalism, in mainstream.
Yeah, since 2018. But I don't think there is a former journalist in any specific category. So I still do some media work and media-related work. As I left and then I joined media development. Spent a couple of years there, about 5, and then I left for something else. But to your question about whether I missed the radio, no, I really don't miss the radio.
Why?
Well, I still listen to radio, but that thing about missing it and wanting to go back and but maybe another time, but I really don't miss the radio for now.
Give us a few of what you think about journalism. I mean, I think in the last couple of years, running up to 2026.
I think it's good. The journalism field, except for fact that it is becoming more diverse and more challenging nowadays to be a journalist, because I'm this person who holds the view that traditional journalism cannot last beyond the next 5 years. We will have time for the entire journalism profession to transition to how news is being disseminated in the 21st century, especially in the new millennium that we're in right now. You have seen the advent of social media. Mm-hmm. You have seen the advent of online streaming platforms and the rest of that. Quite recently, we saw Asher Speed was in Liberia. Mm-hmm. And then he was going all around the place exposing these African countries and how the people who have never seen Liberia before were on that stream. They had the opportunity to see Liberia. He didn't need traditional journalists. He didn't need Far Debbie and One Age to go and tell Liberia's story. He only needed an internet, a smartphone, and then it was done. It was done, and then a basic platform, which was YouTube. He was streaming on. So that's what he needed. Nowadays, you don't have to wait for 7 p.m. Prime FM news or maybe 6 p.m. OKFM news to know what happened at the legislature today or in the office of the president or who the president welcomed or what kind of statement was issued by the president today. They are all posted on social media. So once you are a regular social media user, you do not necessarily need traditional media to be able to consume news information. So basically, you just have to go on social media and see them. But there is a risk that comes with. And that is what we need to be able to address. Other countries are addressing them. We need to be able to move on to information literacy or media literacy, where people are basically able to decipher between what is right,
verify for themselves.
You know what is an actual news content, what is a verified.
But that's where real journalism plays in.
Yeah,
because
sure.
if something is shared online and people are still doubting, they depend on stations like OKFM, Prime, and a few other media institutions. You come and sift out what is posted online, because sometimes the people who post online do not give details. Of what is happening.
Fine. But then what about it? Okay, the president appointed Trokon Wrepue today as deputy minister for information in his office.
I want to know who Trokon
It's
is.
already announced.
I want to know who Trokon is. What
it's on social media.
What experience he brings.
No,
and
but
social media users wouldn't bring that easily.
The context here, and the key point here is that the president made an announcement. I already know. I saw you on social media.
Which is true.
What if I don't care to know about who you are? I don't know who the president appointed.
Maybe you won't get the real information.
So the news has already gone. No matter how you see, how you perceive it, the news is already gone. But if you come in the evening and start listening by 6 o'clock to your news that Trokon is this person, this is his background, he did this and did that. Well, I don't care. I just want to know who the president appointed, and I already know. But that comes with a risk. The timely, fast, and convenient delivery of news to wider audience in a very short space of time comes with a risk. There's issue about inaccuracy. There's issues about
misinformation,
disinformation, malinformation. People using social media platforms to manipulate content on their own. Let's say in their own behalf, or to suit what they want to have. To suit their own objectives. So that's the bad side of it. So people in the 21st century, in this age, people need to have information literate. They have to be information literate. They have to be able to have specific skills that tell them, say, this could probably be a good content.
Where can we
this
begin
is not
that
a good content. People teaching media literacy in high schools in the UK and other places. They're teaching media literacy. In Europe, in European countries, they're teaching media literacy in schools. Before you can graduate from high school in other European countries these days, you have to have you should have covered certain hours of media literacy, because you will not be able to control information anymore.
Of course.
If I have a story today that I wanted you to put in the newspaper and you say you don't want to put it, I don't need you. I'll go and put it on my Facebook page. People are going to read it. People will share. You can still garner that kind of publicity you want to get. So that is it. People, but the other side of it, like I continue to say, is that people need to learn how to know what is manipulated and what is actually good content. That is the tax that we face today in today's journalism. Today, look at what's happening. I was watching a live stream about 2 hours ago. I saw almost about 10 journalists. All of them got phones. All of them got phones. They are delivering news to people, news and information to people right in time. So, for example, if somebody was arrested today and that person was taken to prison, before you get to know, as it is happening, news is being delivered to people. So right on social media.
I think, Joe, the point and your point, I'm getting to conclude that we need to remodel how we do journalism.
Yeah, sure.
To fit the fast moving.
Sure, you're right. You're right. In the next 10 years, we're not going to need radio stations to give us news.
That's
it's going to be absolute. It's going to go by itself. Nobody's going to push it. Push it away, but it's going to absolutely.
So
go by itself.
what we do here, because our news delay up to 6 o'clock.
Yes.
So when the news comes, we edit. It's on Facebook. We share it on social media. So people who have the opportunity already know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we are broadcasting for the rest of the people who do not have access to internet. That's what I think down in Liberia. We broadcast most of the people who do not have internet access.
Yeah, sure.
The everyday market women, these people who are in communities, do not have smartphone or Android phone.
Yeah.
Those are the people who communicate to.
But
the rest of the people have internet. We are disseminating on OGFM page. They already know. There's no need to even listen.
Yeah, but think about the fact that internet is going to expand across the country. Starling internet. So internet expands across the country in the next 10-15 years from now, where you have coverage in place in the far to reach areas.
And we need to do that literacy as well.
So our stations need to move online. They need to adapt to social media, accurate and timely social media news delivery. Nowadays, look for example, Spoon TV's Facebook page alone. They have 700,000 followers there. Look at that kind of massive platform over there. If they posted anything over there, in split seconds, people are going to get it. Before I can get into the radio, I got to go tune to the radio.
We are moving towards 300,000.
We need and this is very honest. Our radio stations, our media institutions are not social media friendly. They're not strong on social media. They're not strong online.
Like just few stations.
Just a few of them. So we need to move online. The future is online. Everything is online.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Joe. It was a pleasure for that refresher. I hope a lot of media managers and owners are listening. But on a serious note, we must applaud you and others who've been really advocating for this entire cybercrimes thing. I know certain point in time you will be in Europe, you address some conferences, I will read some stories here. I've invited you here before, we've had conversation. Give us a history of how we got here.
Well, this thing started far back as about I think about 5 or 6 years ago, during Liberia's last UPR process. And UPR is the Universal Periodic Review. Now, during the UPR process, basically this is what happens. Now, the government, the countries of the United Nations Security Council have their human rights records reviewed at the UPR process. I think it happens about every 5 years. Now, so what does the review mean? Now, the review the review basically considers UN information on the country, what information the UN has about human rights on the country. The review also consider information submitted by civil society organizations and national human rights institutions and the rest of that. So also during that review process, you have other questions. You have other countries to question that particular country which is on a review. For example, Liberia is on a review. Liberia will present their report, right? Liberia presents her report, her overall human rights report, and then based on other information that people have, other countries will begin to question that particular, a country on specific human rights issues. Then in the end, there will be countries that will make recommendations to that particular country which is on a review. Say Liberia is on a review, and then, for example, I make a recommendation. Say, look, I review Liberia's situation, Liberia's human rights, situation for the last 6 or 3 or 4 months, and I think that Liberia needs to strengthen, legislation that protect journalism and freedom of the press in Liberia. So that would be a recommendation. Now, so Liberia would take those. So the UPR process will list all of the recommendations, right? Mm-hmm. Depending on how bad your country is, you will receive more recommendations. If your country is doing well at human rights, it is expected that you receive less amount of recommendation. So those recommendations will be passed over to the country by the UPR people, by the UN Human Rights Council. So the country will now take those recommendations back and then go and improve on it. For example, maybe you have a recommendation that says improve measures to combat violence against women. Maybe ensure effective implementation of Personal Data Protection Act. So that is what the UPR does. So the first UPR process which took place about 6 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, civil society actors like us, when I worked for a Center for Media Studies and Peace Building, made some recommendations to the government of Liberia. Doing that, it was a former Justice Minister, Frank Musa Dean, who was, actually a Minister of Justice. So we made recommendations to the government of Liberia to enact data rights legislation, to be able to do cybersecurity and the rest of that. So with the spread of internet across Liberia now, that became more prominent and became more ideal for civil society organizations to be able to join the advocacy. So as a result of that, we saw other entities coming in, like Internews. The European Union has been supporting data right legislation in Liberia, and then the USAID Liberia Media Initiative program that was ongoing as well. Mm-hmm. It had a component that we were working on when I was at the Center of Media Studies and Peace Building, which we actively used to be able to advocate, to tell the government to enact two key laws: a cybersecurity law and a personal data protection law. Now, so the Ministry of Post and Telecommunication that current administration at the Ministry of Post and Telecommunication has been very instrumental in ensuring that they have this law passed. Because when they took over after the 2023 transition, they embraced the idea of the CSO groups. They did a draft and everything, or whatever they met, they pieced them together, and then they started pushing forward with consultations that focus on stakeholders and nationwide consultations in the regions. I think with support from Internews, and so they ran with it, and then today they had it passed. So today we have two basic laws that have been passed by the president, like the ministry that have been signed by the president. Now it goes to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It's going to be printed in handbills, and then it officially turns into law. The implementation part follows.
Let's talk a little bit about, the importance. I know we said it here before, but there might be first time, listeners and viewers via our Facebook page. Let's look at the importance of these laws, Joe.
Yeah, sure. So when you hear data protection law, it is the legislation that protects first the collection, the storing, the sharing, and then the use and how individuals and organizations can delete people's personal information or information about people. Okay. Now, personal data protection law includes basically, data protection, personal data that law covers basically includes information like your name and your phone number, your ID card, maybe your address, your phone, your photos, your financial information, like photos in your phone, or photos in your album and the rest of that, your employment records. You talk about basically about online identities. You talk about information about your activities and preferences. There are some people who are this. They don't want people to know they are this. So those are information that are your personal information. So they make up your personal data. Now, why do we talk about personal data, or why have we advocated for personal data protection legislation? Because organizations should not be able to collect and or use people's personal information any kind of way they want to use it or anyhow. So for example, if the telecommunication company, for example, Lone Star Cell, MTN, has your name, they have your phone number, they have your identification information, they have your data. Now, data protection law that was passed establishes these basic things. Since the cell phone companies already have this information about us, why they can collect this information? That law establishes that clearly. Okay. How they must protect the information which is already in their custody, who they can share that information with exclusively, how long they can store or keep that information, and you who have the information, your right to access that information. That is what the law will be able to address, right? So the other thing that has to do, so I mean, in conclusion, data protection, we'll talk about it, is primarily about protecting people's privacy, controlling the use of people's personal information. Doing voter registration, they collect massive number of information. They collect your fingerprint, your biodata. They collect your father's name. They collect your telephone number, where you live,
everything
your age,
about you,
everything.
Yeah.
So how does NEC control that information? How do they store it? How do they collect it in the first place? Do they have to be collecting your number when another person is at the back hearing your telephone number and hearing your age, and hearing where you were born, what is the name of your father, and the rest of that? Do they have to do it that way? So all of these things that the National Elections Commission does by collecting in an attempt to collect people's personal information will now be addressed properly through this act that was passed. Now that is it. So now somebody want to understand, say, what is cybersecurity? How are the two very, very different? Cybersecurity is primarily about protecting computer systems and network, digital infrastructure, and information from cyber threats. So the two, one, there's a legislation that addresses personal data, people's personal information, and the second one is about computer systems, digital infrastructure, and information that need to be protected from cyber attack. So for the cybersecurity law, it basically addresses things that have to do with hacking. Maybe you talk about unauthorized access to computer systems, malware, what kind of internet systems can be installed. Maybe somebody just come and say they install your CCTV camera right here. How do you install CCTV camera
without
in
telling
public places?
anybody?
People have to be aware. You have to say, like across the world, you go there, this place is under surveillance. This place, CCTV camera is around here, because people have to know that they are being surveyed.
And they gotta give their consent before they enter. So if I know there's camera here and I think I should not enter, I wouldn't enter.
Yeah, sure. So that data, the cybersecurity law also addresses disruption of data services, theft or destruction of digital information, attacks against critical infrastructure, cybercrime investigation and reporting process. It will also address security requirements of certain organizations. All of those will be
somebody outside there could be thinking about cyberbullying.
Yeah, sure. Those will be addressed by the cybercrime and the rest of that. If you cyberbully somebody, if you bully somebody on the internet and the rest of that, those will be addressed now by the cybersecurity law. Now, Liberia is one of few countries in the world now who has been able to pass a digital rights legislation, a cybersecurity law. Most countries don't have these laws. So what it will do basically is that since we are spreading, our internet coverage across the hinterland in the far to rich counties, more people will come online. The last time I read the statistics when I was in Switzerland last year was about 46% of households now in Liberia have access to internet. It's at 46%. That's what I saw. So basically, what that tells you is that we are moving into an era where our country is getting meaningfully and substantially altered into the age of digital technology. So we need these laws, like other countries have them, to be able to guard how we use the internet and we use computer systems across our country. So that is why the passage of this law is a key thing. And not just did we, the CSO organizations, make recommendation to Liberia to pass these laws, there have been serious countries. Because when you go to the UPR process, what basically happens, Trokon, is that you have America, for example, you have Canada, you have representatives, human rights representatives from these countries. I met one guy from Costa Rica. I met the UN representative for human rights at the in Geneva, and they will ask you, what are the issues with reading? Your country does not have a cybersecurity law. Your country does not protect people's personal data. There are mobile network operators in your country that are extracting people's information, and then they don't protect. They don't protect it. There's no safeguard. There's no mechanism by which they can share, restore, use, retain, or delete people's information. So what are you doing about this? And then you just say, no, we have that as part of our recommendation. And then now you will lobby with them because there's a lobby time in the hall. You lobby with them and say, oh, look, this is our recommendation. We want you, America, to also add to your recommendation, telling our government to add cybersecurity law in the data rights legislation as well.
You help us pressure them.
And then they will say, okay, good, that's good. Yeah, then they'll take a note. Maybe you talk about safety of journalists to end all forms of harassment, intimidation against journalists. They will note those things down. So you meet people from Canada, you meet people from Russia, all of the countries that are members of the UN Human Rights Council. They have representatives there where you meet, you lobby with them, they take your recommendation, add those recommendations to your country. So when Liberia is presenting their country report now, they will ask questions about these things and make those recommendations. So at the end, they forward the recommendation to the country, and then you go for 5 years to implement them. So in the next 5 years, when you come now, then they review all of that. So I will not be surprised if the country will score a very good mark in this UPR process.
We hope so, and that will bring us, some substantial, gains.
I think so.
On a serious note, Joe, one of the issues we have had, and I've always asked myself, for instance, like you were saying quite clearly, we do not know where people store our data. The information that some of the data collected are stored in foreign countries. What if something happened and somebody just log into that and get everyone's data out? How does that law, seek to address that?
Thank you.
Are we asking that we store our data here in the country, we monitor everything that's happening, or what is happening?
Yeah, I don't have access to what has been passed into law right now.
Yeah.
Sure. So
But you got the draft.
Yeah, sure, I got the draft. So we had hoped that, but draft can be different from what is out there. So I don't want to speculate until I can see the law. So it's printed in the handbills, we'll get copies, and then obviously we'll be able to read through the laws. And if these specific digital systems and internet services, servers, and people who provide services in the country are not adequately addressed, then we'll ask for amendment. No law can be perfect. But the issue is that we must pass certain safeguards that will be able to protect us as a country and protect people's personal information. For example, you raise a very critical issue. Whenever you are subscribing to big online platforms and tech companies, for example, you want to establish a Google account, the first requirement is that you have a Google account. Go to Google, put in your name, put in your number, where you live, sometimes ask for some, and they are extracting personal information.
Basic information.
How does that law, I will be looking out to read a new law to see how basically it addresses those issues.
Where is it stored? Who's monitoring that? Who's keeping it?
How does Google store Liberian information and the rest of that? So we want to see those things. Facebook, not just Google, Instagram, Meta now. Meta owns WhatsApp, Meta owns WhatsApp, Meta owns Instagram, Meta owns Facebook, right? And then even the artificial intelligence, platforms that we're using today, the AI tool that we're using today, ChatGPT, DeepSeek, and all of these, Google Gemini, all of these things that we are subscribing to, you will give information to them. How does the law address these specific issues? I think that one is going to be a very tricky part, but I don't want to speculate. I want to read it and see what that specifically offers. And I don't want to see what was there right now. Yeah, sure.
Which is fair enough. To actually domesticate the law or to have it across the country, Joe, will require what we're doing now.
Yeah.
People having real first-hand information, people having education about the importance of what has been passed. Is it part of, or will it be part of your recommendation that we do a perfect awareness across the country that this law exists? These are your rights. This is what cannot be done against your right. You have, legal recourse and all of this. Because if we do not have the population wedded to the idea about what the law is about, it will just be something else. It's just on the shelf, like we have other laws. Today, a lot of people do not know about them.
Yeah, you're right. You're quite correct. And just about a little while, I think about 12 or 13 years ago, Liberia passed the Freedom of Information Act. Demand for use of that particular freedom of information law is so low to the point that it's almost getting extinct.
Very low.
People do not know that there is an FOR law that exists. And because they in part do not know that it exists, they're not making use of it. But that's one of the best laws we've ever passed. That law calls for voluntary disclosure. Nobody's supposed to tell the Ministry of Finance to go inform Liberian people of the budget. They're supposed to do it. They're supposed to do it.
And if not, you can make them to do it.
The law is so good to the point that you don't even need to write to access information for somebody. You can go to the superintendent or Grand Bassa County tomorrow morning and say, look, how much money do you have in the budget? That particular Palawa hall you built to Nangwetan there, to what's company, how much money you spend there. And the law provides that superintendent is under the obligation to give you the information. Verbal request for information is granted under the law. The law is so good to the point that it tells people, look, you need to be able to make information as accessible as possible. But we have not been making adequate use of the FOI law. It is my hope,
because there's lack of awareness, Joe.
It is my hope that with the passage of the Cybersecurity and Personal Data Protection Act, people are going to be informed sufficiently about their rights under these laws and how institutions and individuals can be able to not just collect, store, use, or share people's personal data anyway. If somebody did it, there's remedy under the law. You can be able to take legal action against that person for just sharing your personal data without your consent, or just in any way, or sharing that with a third party. I always mention the issue about TikTok. TikTok in America. TikTok is a Chinese app. The company that owns TikTok is originally a Chinese company. Information about people, citizens of a country, like their date of birth, their phone numbers, where they stay, and all of that, when they subscribe into these apps and they are collected, they border on national security.
Sure.
Somebody can just hack somebody's system somewhere and they get to know the entire
everything about
everybody who was born in 2000, where they live, their phone numbers and everything. Somebody can be able to access
capacity
them.
and all.
Like TikTok, for example, TikTok is working in America, it's operating in America. What did America do? America told the Chinese friends, yes, your app is going to operate here, but the specific portion that has to do with the collection of Americans' personal information will be controlled by an American company.
Yeah.
To the point, I'm not too sure if Trump and them were almost reaching a deal so that an American company will be able to buy TikTok. Yeah, sure, to be able to buy TikTok. So that's how other companies take information very serious. These things are very important. We can sit here, somebody will hack one server system and collect almost everybody in the country information. For example, all the information they collected in 2023 was that when they did the voter registration?
Where are they?
Yeah, where are they?
Who's monitoring them?
Where are they stored? If there were a breach of next system, how do we hold them accountable? So all of these things are the things that make the law so good. But like again, you said the implementation part is the hardest for us Liberians. I am just of the hope that when these laws are passed, we're going to use the laws for the benefit of our society.
I look forward where when we go to high school, people are having these conversations. Like Alpha Sekpeni and Local Voices will do to these universities, attire centers and high school. They do not have enough to go as far as we want them to reach due to, some cut in aid and funding. But once it's a government project, Joe, we can go as far as high school. People can take up time to have lecture series at attire centers, radio discussion, town hall meetings. It can be disseminated in dialects and all. The people in Passac who listen to Passac people are spending it. Pound County, Nima, because if they do not know, anything can happen. They could say, like you were saying, Kuko will ask me, Trokon, do this, I will just do. Where my information is going. How is it stored? Where is it stored? Who's monitoring? Nobody knows. So, that would be a very good recommendation, and I hope the authorities can give it some attention. Yeah, if you're just joining us, a kind reminder, you're listening to the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5. Liberian journalist William Jodes here. He's one of the leading advocates for the Cybercrime and Data Protection Act, which has been passed into law by President Joseph Boakai. It will be printed into handbill. It is our prayer, and we could start implementation thanks to the legislature that also gave it serious attention. Who are those legislators? Oh, okay.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, who are those legislators that you were working with?
Oh, sure. So we when I worked for the Center for Media Studies and Peace Building, there was a lot of stakeholders that were engaged. We had folks I really want to say thank you again and emphasize that the Ministry of Post and Telecommunication has done a wonderful job to get that law passed. I mean, they really, really worked.
Minister Sekou Kroman State.
Yeah, sure. He really, really worked to get that law passed. Those two laws passed. We got commitments when I was at CIMEX with funding from UK-based small media group. We got commitment. We had engagements with the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Reggie Nangbe-Kun. He committed quite clearly that he will have done everything in his powers to ensure that this law was passed.
Okay.
And when I returned from Switzerland last year, they passed on it at the level of the House of Representatives, and that was sent to the Liberian Senate. Then we also met Senator A.B. Darius Dillon. At that time, he was chair. I think was he chair? I don't want to be mistake. Ambassador, I hope people so I won't make mistake.
Go for you on Facebook.
Go for me on
Is it the name?
So he was before he can say Allah. So he was heard. I think he was on the Committee on Information Broadcast.
Yeah,
we met him.
remember.
Mark, my boss Marcon and I. We met him in his office. He gave us his commitment, his support to ensuring that the law would be passed, and to see that the both houses passed on that act, and then it was sent to the president. The president subsequently signed it into law. I thought that it was something very, very much meaningful that we could talk about, But because part of the thing is when we went to the UPR process, in fact, our first recommendation, we had 3 recommendations. Our first recommendation was that the government of Liberia must adopt comprehensive internet legislation, that is including enactment of data protection and cybersecurity law. That was our first recommendation. And quite interesting, all of the stakeholders that we met, was it America, the US, Canada, Germany, the UK, we met the people from Czech Republic, and all of these different countries we met, all of them took that recommendation about cybersecurity and personal data protection. So with no delay, last year was a review process, and then this year, if the government was able to act on the passage of that law as recommended by many of us who were at the UPR process in Geneva last year, I thought it was something very good that I needed to talk about. Yes, Paul. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Joe, for coming. Thank you. Let's see if we can take a few calls. Joe is rushing out. He will take his leave. Any other question? Maybe while he's in road, he will be listening. We'll call him on. But let's take a few calls. It is about the cybersecurity and personal data protection act which has been passed into law by the president of Liberia, and data protection is very critical. Like you were saying, NEC will work with foreign companies. Even now, the issue with driver registration, driver license registration, and all of these things. Where are these data being kept? Who's storing them? Who's monitoring this data? So the president has passed that into law, and our recommendation is do not just pass it into law and have it kept. Go beyond that. Let's domesticate it. Let's carry it to the counties. Let's teach it in schools. Let's make the next generation that we refer to as the Gen Z or the internet age group have knowledge on that, so that tomorrow, if their rights are trampled upon, they can be able to deal with some of the issues. But let's talk to some Liberians. Looking at somebody has taken Deputy Minister Daniel Sano to court. No, not to court. They've written him, and I'll read that communication. I know I got it. I'll read it out, but let's see if we can talk to a few people very quickly. We'll take calls, but let me read this out. Let me read this out. I'm gonna read it out. Just hold on. Okay. So the Helen, the Tonya, I hope I'm pronouncing it what Toun. Tonya. Liquor Chambers. It's located Sinker, Spring Pin Airport Road, Liberia, by Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency checkpoint. It's a PO Box 1238 1000 Monrovia, 10 Liberia, and all of those. So this is addressed to Deputy Information Minister Dana Sanders. Dear Mr. Sando, we are Tunya Liquor Consultancy and Arbitration Chambers. requesting the legal or representing the legal interests of Mr. Amara Mohammed Kone, a former Minister of Finance and Development Planning and current Senator representing the people of Wrepue County, Liberia. We are informed that on August 11 to the 12th, 2026, or thereabout, you employed your public and social media platforms, including press commentary, to assert that Mr. Amara M. Kone, quote, connived and systematically rigged the 2017 presidential elections to bring former President George Weah and the Coalition for Democratic Change to power. Unquote. Not only is your statement in reference entirely without an iota of truth, but this allegation imputes profound serious crimes to our client with consequential penalties under the Liberian laws. It may interest you, Mr. Minister, to know that injury may be offered to a person's reputation with an untrue statement or defamatory utterance is made against said person, tending to injure his or her the society's standing and public reputation. Your statement on reference appears to have that both imputed serious grounds to Mr. Amara Kone and injured his reputation and social standing. He, or be as it may, it is the standing policy. Yeah, this is very small. It is a standing policy of Tuan Yan firm to first attempt a resolution of a matter brought to our attention. Consistent herewith, we request that you retract your accusation against our client within 48 hours as of the hour and date of receipt of this communication. This is signed by Mohammed N. Jonas Senior Counselor, and Jonathan T. Massacre, Counselor at Law. Mr. Amara Mohammed Khan CC copy. This is stamped by the institution. So, Mr. Kone has reached out to his lawyer and told him that Mr. Deputy Minister Daniel Sano made some claims during the exchange between them on social media, and that his lawyers or the law firm is now saying that it injured him, injured his reputation. So they gave Daniel Sano 48 hours. So this letter was submitted or written. I don't know when it was submitted, but it was written on the 18th of August, on Tuesday. It was written to the deputy minister. So they gave him 48 hours. Mr. Daniel Sano, if you're listening and you want to talk to us, we can call you. If you do not want to, no problem. But they've given you 48 hours to respond. Will you respond? Are you going to them? They say they gave you 48 hours to retract, or other remedies under the law may be followed. Let's take a few calls. 5 p.m. we have with us the head of the Liberia Standards Authority. So Mr. Daniel Sano Rick's been sued by Senator Amara Kone. Amara Kone says all the things he talked against him, I didn't hurt him. But the one where Tano allegedly said they connived in 2017 to rig the election in favor of former President George Weah, that one really get to him. So he has told his lawyer, and they've written Mr. Sando. So Mr. Sando got 48 hours to apologize, or else he might go to court. Let's talk to this person. Hello?
Yeah, Trokon. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Let's hear you.
I believe I'm Jeff Freeman. They're calling from Johnsonville.
I'm going to let you call out your name again. Go ahead. Let's hear you, Chief.
I believe the letter that posted in the social media will be directly given to the man who is written to. But if you all you want to come on Facebook to answer, well, so be it. But however, this afternoon you were debating on the argument regarding to drugs. Then I was thinking that if at all you say anything, they will not believe it. Though you are already said it earlier that people have mindset.
No, the people say are speaking for government. Wow.
No. You were talking the rightful thing because people already got mindset. And security operation, we all don't know because we are not security. Security does not operate like court to summon you. Security have information, they will pick you up anywhere, anytime. More especially when it comes to emergency things like drugs like this. Be it whosoever. But however, that's Liberia. We can insinuate. Because once we are guessing and they are guessing, people didn't go by it, we see that it is wrong. But security operation, more especially professional investigation that going on now with international partners. They don't even rush on people because you're talking on Facebook or you're talking on radio. They go by facts and things that will bite them in court because repetition are all involved.
Okay.
So, thank you very much for, searching everything.
Thank you so kindly. Let's talk to this person. Hello?
Yeah, how are you? You getting me clear?
You're much better. Let's hear your chief.
Yeah, I'm Robbie from Canonville.
Okay.
Yeah, concerning the topic, I think radio will not really go out. It will not go out. It will not be isolated. But what those who are in that area can do is to be more innovative.
Yeah.
So as to increase their skills. Because if you don't do that, what will happen there is more people now will leave the sea because they won't be able to bring money in to pay them. You see, and then concerning the digital, I think as the brother was saying, in order for those laws and things to be effective, people had to be trained. So digital education had to at least start from our primary school, so that the more trained people we have, then we can settle our own national company to collect our information and save them.
Okay.
See? Yeah, but if we don't have let people in the area, then it will be get the information out. The other day I wanted to get something about one ministry. I go on their website, I can't find anything. You see, it's very bad. See? So that's it. And if you don't control the cotton quarter, why you get this store? They're gonna talk about it. That Daniel son of Benedict with that talk.
Oh, but my man, people read you. Hello. I thought two things. And then what you want to talk about? Let's hear you.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is Moses. I'm calling you from Brooklyn.
Yes, sir. Let's hear you.
Yes, just as you said concerning the way people can respond to issues in this country, more especially the drugs case. And I listened to the former senator for how to call it, Bomi County, and he was talking as to see if people just went out to call in the former vice president without having no information. The people we should understand as Liberians that they had two different nationals that are in custody of the security people, and those people, I believe, they have been questioned. And as they do, they give information based on the information that the security people have. They went for the former vice president, and who knows whether they are giving information that will probably link other people, maybe in a very near future. So people should not be speaking out of emotion. They should let the people do their work.
Okay.
Because I don't think the people just go call somebody when they do not have any information on them. So let us, as Liberians, remain peaceful and watch and see as to whether how the whole thing is going to come out. I mean, the end of it going to be. Because if you follow the international media, you hear about Haiti. You hear how that country has become lawless, all because of drugs. And, so I hope that people will be patient and wait to see what the government is going to do. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you as well. Thank you as well. Let's talk to this person. Hello?
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is Rick about calling from Benson Street.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I must appreciate our brother in there. It's a good thing to control one data, so especially for Liberia. The question he asks whether the data from the 2023 election or 2017 election, whether we know where those data are stored and we can go there and see them or know who keeping them. These are things that are important for our well-being. And with the effort they are making, I expect them to do more. And then I want to encourage them that they continue to push this country. It's hard for us to get to things, but I know that we'll get there.
Okay.
On the line of this drugs issue, the investigation, it is the credibility of the security that Liberians are doubting. When this thing started first, the way the police started handling it, with the DA arresting the person, calling this other woman name, that's what was happening concerning the police director. Like the guy who they said carried $19 million drugs to the airport in a taxi. He said, "Hey boy, just a little boy who do a test it, I can't get my stuff and do my stuff." You were talking as if to say he was defending the guy, and we're talking about drugs. You can't do it as a police officer. So these are things that people look at, and the way they calling names, they were calling the other names, they were going for them. They were not being exposed like what they did the former vice president. It was very demeaning to her.
Okay.
And old as she is, you see today now she is in the hospital. Who knows whether she will survive on it?
She will.
These are
We
things
pray
that we
so.
should be careful with.
We pray so she will survive. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, let's hear you, please.
Yeah, how are you, Trokon? This is Adama Tane, Member United Party Intellectual Bureau, joining from my very Famatan. Trokon, I lay up in there, man. Very in the program. Trokon, let me tell you something. According me, they job in there. The citizens say they come in and investigating the people. Nobody say draw a telephone guilty. But we have to start somewhere. Trokon, he said, Trokon, someone, start doing business, but we stay poor. Why somebody just can't start sending business and putting their risk? You see, that example he said.
And I won't hurt you.
Yeah, and also according on the police commander to go come on, please, I want your local woman good. Sano Johnson, I beg you, Papa. You are big brother. Start beating war joining our ear. Nothing will happen in this country. Nobody said that woman found guilty. I beg you because you always let to be war join like something will happen. Nothing will happen in the country. That thing you need to do, you need to tell university students.
It's okay. It's okay. Thank you. It's okay. It's okay. Thank you. Hello? Hello?
Hello, Trokon.
Let's hear you, please.
Yeah, thanks for picking my call. Anyway, I'm Beto, calling from Johnsonville.
How's the Beto Island?
Yes, sir. So I just want to get clarity, Trokon. I want to know whether the former vice president was invited or she was arrested. That's from you, Chief. Because I need clarity, I want to learn.
I think what I heard is she was invited.
She was invited at the airport?
That's at the airport they can invite people?
But then I got information of getting there and conflicting.
So what they say again?
Who saw the woman was arrested. But you continue saying she was invited.
Who arrested her where? You saw handcuff on her, they carrying her?
The woman was stopped, the woman was arrested. You're not supposed to handcuff someone when you arrest the person.
Oh, so
you got a choice. You got a choice to handcuff or not.
Oh,
okay. But she was arrested.
But what the police spokesperson said on the radio and what I heard was she was invited for questioning.
But I never were inviting people different.
Oh, okay.
Very, very different. Seriously. Thank you.
All right. Hello.
Hey, Trokon, how you doing?
I'm okay.
Thanks for the show. I listen to all your analysis, your point that you make. People calling that you are, the party supporter. Well, just a few days, everyone us all, we say the police should investigate. This is Washington Moriba from Chikostan. We were all around here saying, government investigating, government this, that, government this, government that. Government try to investigate people again, they have complaints, say, oh, there's that. So why are people very one? Well, why the country? What we very want in this country? When we say one good thing, people, the president fighting for good thing to come, people against that. If you get the woman somewhere in drugs business, and you see, I want to tell people, anything you do in the darkness, it will come to light. Or someone involved into drugs business, you care for someone to Ghana. At the end of the day, what happened? We are not the judge. You understand? But actually, the government is doing well. Okay. I was telling the police, I was telling somebody here myself yesterday, we were arguing, they want to pressurize the police director. And our graduate, I will take my time. I will not listen to the public pressure to say things that are not supposed to say, because investigation, the way criminal investigation go, we the surveillance, we don't know. Investigation can take time, but if you don't take time at the end of the day, government will lose that case. And government lose that case, when you sue government for damage, government will pay more money. So the police director take a own set time and go through the investigation.
Thank you. That's what you read there. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Our guest is already here in the studios.
From the heart of ball.
Are you looking for quality and healthy beats for whatever occasion for reasonable price? Then worry no more. Brown Hop Liberia got you covered. At Brown Hop Liberia, we sell healthy agile raised pig for only $350 Liberian per pound. Our pigs are born and raised in Liberia according to high European standards of hygiene and care. You are welcome to visit our farm in Bombing County or come to UCI at Freeport to choose your pig, weigh it, pay, and take it home. For more information, inquiry, or reservation, contact Brown Hawk Liberia via WhatsApp on 0770-888-804 or call 0880-900-041. Brown Hawk Liberia. Quality you see, cleanliness you can trust.
Healthy pigs, quality you'll try.
Your favorite RLJ Kendeja Resort and Villas is new and improved with top-notch first-class services guaranteed to make you feel pampered and special as our royal guests. Ideally located on the RI Highway, a few minutes drive from the rehab junction, right in front of the Atlantic Ocean, you are assured of a peaceful, serene atmosphere of a home away from home. The ingredients for our Liberian meals are freshly picked from our garden to give you that unforgettable taste of Liberian cuisine. Our villas are designed and equipped to ensure every night spent with us is a memorable one. We are well positioned to host conferences and seminars of all sizes, as well as outdoor events like garden weddings and parties. Book your upcoming events and leave the rest for us to handle with 100% satisfaction guarantee. You can reach us on 0770-533-415 or email us at reservations@kendejaresort.com.lr. Visit our website on www.rljkendejaresort.com.lr. RLJ Kendeja Resort and Villas, for memories worth repeating.
Is your car sick? Is your car having engine problem, wheel alignment, or air conditioning problems? Then, here's your solution. Here's the medication for your car. Automeds Garage on Gerda Street, opposite the Old Jenna Ministry, is the right clinic for all your cars. With our local and international professional mechanic, we get your car back in good shape. Automats Garage. We have a multi-spray booth that leaves your car sparkling. Or Car Care Center, CCC, that takes care of your car interior and exterior. We get your car the modern rims and doors handle. Let's just say we pimp your ride. Make your car look modern at Automats Garage on Gurley Street. We have a professional tire center that change your tire in no time. With our state-of-the-art diagnosing machine, we know exactly what's wrong with your car. No guessing. Our tow service is one of its kind. Tow your car for a reasonable amount if we won't fix your car. And for free if Automats will service your car. Our prices are unbeatable and our customer service is outstanding. So whatever your cars need, call Automats Garage on Gurley Street, opposite the Old Jenna Ministry on 0555-535-307 or 0777-884-077. Automats Garage. We care for your cars.
I become a vessel for my happiness.
Welcome back. Thanks for rejoining us. This is the second final portion of the OK Afternoon Conversation here on OK FM. Right after here, we take our weekend break. And the weekend is going to be very long. On Monday will be the 24th, which is going to be Flag Day. It's been declared by the president already. So, Honorable Stephen Wamambo is the Director General and Chief Executive Officer of the Liberia Standards Authority. He was appointed by President Boakai to lead that institution. He's been there for a couple of years, or months, or 2 years running to it. Now, we've had him here before, and it's a privilege again to have him today to talk to us about what his institution is doing as it relates to standards of our consumables and every other thing that's relating to his job. Mr. Mambu, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you again.
Thank you very much. And again, I want to say thank you for the reception. And I also want to say hello to Radio Land.
How have you been?
Well, I'm okay, by the grace of God, and keeping my head above the waters, and also keeping engaged with the responsibility given me by the president. That's okay.
Yeah, it's good to have you again. Like I said, in October of 2024, we woke up to an appointment from the executive mansion. You were named to serve the Liberia Standards Authority. Did you know where you were going and what you were going to be confronted with upon hearing that you were being appointed by the executive mansion?
Well, I took the appointment as a privilege,
okay.
And having served as director for the National Standards Laboratory for over a decade. In fact, that institution was birthed through consultancies that I then offered. And then looking at the pathway that we have developed from the inception of the institution as a National Standards Laboratory, and then hearing the announcement that I was appointed by the president to serve as Director General and CEO. I took it as a privilege, but with my past experience within the entity, yeah, clearly I had an understanding of exactly where such an institution was going, or is going, and therefore it was just a phase change with a greater responsibility of an institution now that is semi-autonomous and with full responsibility to drive institutional growth and also to meet the Herculean task of standards within the Republic. So I think I had a forehanded idea, and also I was prepared to really take on the task.
Was it pre-discussed or it came as a surprise?
Well, actually, I did not know. I didn't have any pre-arrangement. Although was it? I was hinted about it. No.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So when it came, I know you know that there is a political position appointment. So
Yeah.
it was the president to decide. But I've not met the president then. I know not. Was I tipped to say, well, you are for the job. So I saw it as an opportunity given to me.
Does your position require you going for cabinet meetings, or
No.
you are represented by the Minister of Commerce?
Yeah, since we are under the trade, trade sector, the Ministry of Commerce is actually a cabinet position. Yeah, so we don't normally go except we are invited.
Okay.
Yeah, on critical issues, and then we can be present. But other than that, we whatsoever issues are, the Ministry of Commerce serve as the chair for our board or our
And
council.
they're the vessel through which you communicate.
Yeah, obviously.
Okay. The last time I had you a couple of months ago, we were having conversation, few issues, and we had not just few, wide range of issues. We want to talk about your fight or your process of getting autonomy. We also talk about your headquarters. We talk about your activities in the sub-region to synchronize what we do in Liberia or other countries to see what best, stand up for Liberia. And then plenty other commitments you made. Let's start with your headquarters project. Where are we with that today?
Well, thank you very much. As you are aware, in February, the president dedicated our refurbished headquarters, but then we already had a project ongoing to relocate the central office.
Okay.
And as of present, I would like to inform you and the public that just today we're able to do the survey which Land Commission conducted at the Morovia Industrial Park. So with that survey, hopefully in a few weeks from now, a D will be presented to us for that land. So we have secured the site where the headquarters of the Liberian Standards Authority will be built.
Okay.
And then currently we also have an ongoing arrangement with NAFA. You know, NAFA has a project also, for which part of that project is to build a reference fishery laboratory. And that will be within the confines of the Liberia Standards Authority for us to operate.
Okay.
So that facility is going to be built on our current land that we just surveyed. Yeah, so at least we have taken almost like 50% of the activities that will lead towards having a physical infrastructure to house, the Standards Authority with all its, units, and that will also accommodate the basic services. But that doesn't mean, because where we are at public work is also for us.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll still use that facility.
You could still have some component of.
Yeah, obviously, we hope at that time we will designate that place to be basically a training center, because we offer training services and also for liaison purposes and every other thing like that. But it will take some time, because to really look at, we have up to 3 years, project span,
To
period,
build.
yeah,
Okay.
to be able to.
Lastly, before we close up on that, or let's just close up on that, what's the cost of the project?
Well, currently, one of the activities is that we are conducting a impact assessment, and then come up with the engineering drawing. So currently, I don't have the raw figure as per what they will cost, actually.
Okay, great. When you left from here, a couple of weeks after you launched your 5-year strategy plan, has that been in full swing?
Yes. In fact, the 5 years plan starts from 2025 to 2029. And as present, just 2 days back, we had a council meeting, and we were able to actually brief and the council on the level of execution of that plan.
Okay.
So the plan is actually divided in 3 phases. We have the initial phase, which spans between 2025 and 2026, and then the second phase will be between 2027 to 2028, and then the last phase is 2029. So at current, we have about 25 stipulated activities under the first phase of what we have earmarked. And we have gone almost about half of that activity of achievement. So the plan is actually in full swing. Actually,
the biggest part of the conversation the last time was the issue about your autonomy, because you are semi-autonomous, which bar you from doing some other things, and you believe that standing on your own will give you the authority your institution need to stress far beyond. How far are we with that? I know you've been doing something with the legislature.
Well, after our last engagement, we received communication from the legislature, especially the lower house, requesting us to be present in one of the sections, and then they had some issues for us to address.
Yeah, one of the
part of those issues had to do with us addressing ourselves when it comes to substandard product, and then looking at our act. Well, in summary, the expectation was that we were to enforce standards, and then given the issue of substandard product, they believe that the standards authority stands at a very critical junction to ensure that we address that, because they brought a lot of implications, including the issue of health, the rising issue of diabetes and other health-related issues that are connected to food-related diseases, foodborne diseases. And then they asked us, why is it that we were not enforcing certain issues, certain regulations, like for the issue of pesticides, fertilizer, and I mean they brought some critical issue, but we addressed it that look, the Standards Authority as it is offers services. And anything had to do with enforcement or even regulation, we have to go through the regulators, especially the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So for that, we can be held reliable directly for some things that are not within the act itself. So after that engagement, the lower house set up a special committee to look within our act and see what are the issues to be addressed, especially maybe to strengthen our regulation and see where we could where they could address those gaps, and then reshift the issue of our act, because whatsoever we are doing at the Standards Authority is based on the act. We can't go outside of that. So that committee was set, and they went on, though they said that it was not something that we asked for, but they as lawmakers, they have obligation to the citizens, and they are the ones who make the law, and therefore they will look into the law and be able to strengthen it, given their roles and responsibilities. So we were not really involved again afterwards about what actually emerged or came out of that. But I mean, we got to understand that they actually went into the law and they look at it, and then they were able to address it. But as of present, I'm not I'm not in touch with the information to know whether what was done with the law or not.
Again, why do you need autonomy? Total autonomy. I know you're semi-autonomous.
Well, actually, the Standards Authority, we don't. It doesn't work in shadows. The Standards Authority is a body that is well represented throughout the world. Okay. In fact, we have the organization, the International Organization of Standardization, which provide a framework of how national standards bodies supposed to operate or managed. So in most of the countries, the Standards Authority is an technically independent body because it complies with a lot of international standards in its formation, in its management and operation. So they are actually what we call guidelines and all that each standard authorities actually operate. So there are countries nearby, whether in Guinea, in Gambia, in Nigeria, in Ghana. If you look at your big, these standards authority, they are autonomous. They have legislative power to formulate standards and also to implement standards. The most important thing is that the Standards Authority must be technically independent, even to the point where the regulators and the private sector, they are all part of the oversight responsibility of the Standards Authority. So the reason why it must be autonomous because it complies with international best practice.
Let's look at the benefit. When I say we, Liberians, and including your institution, inclusive, stand to benefit when there's quote unquote autonomy.
Well, first of all, currently, being autonomous will give us more technical independence to ensure that we can serve the Liberian people in a more objective way, because the issue of interference, from regulators sometimes affect what we do. And the next thing is that the chain of command goes all the way up. For example, if we have issues related to trade, and maybe there are products which needs to immediately come under regulations. Mm-hmm. At present, we are not down with the responsibility to actually formulate regulation right away for the protection of the citizens, but we have to go through the regulators, maybe through commerce, or we have to go through agriculture, or then. So the pathway in ensuring that some of our standards are regulated goes a long way. Then if it is autonomous, then obviously that gives us an opportunity for us to put into effect some measures right away. The next thing is that in terms of making sure that we function effectively, autonomous status give us the greatest hand to manage our affairs. For example, currently to really look at our HR, and most of those who work in the Standards Authority, they are highly scientific staff, technical staff, and therefore the issue of retention, the issue of making sure that there's long HR policy to retain our staff and to make sure that we pay them well, based on their background and every other thing of that. On our autonomous status, we might have a greater policy to put that into effect than where we are currently, because we are, for example, now we are on a CSA. You understand? So you have people, you have staff that are working. They don't have benefit. They don't have any other enumeration that actually ensure their continuity with us and every other thing like that. But they classify us just under the category of CSA. Even CSA doesn't have a category of staff as correspond with our agency, because for example we need to employ scientists, engineers, meteorologists, analysts, and these are highly professional,
technical,
technical. So because of that, we strongly believe that being autonomous, that gave the agency some level to formulate the kind of policies that will ensure that it matches, they matched, our operation and our management.
One of what you started doing, and you said here, was staff capacity building. I know I was told that a few other people had left. They were in Ghana. You were intending to send some to other countries. How far have you gone with that?
Well, first of all, as I said last time, we want to be very much appreciated to the European Union through the implementation of a project called Liberia Food Safety Initiative, which UNIDO now is implementing. Under that project, we have been able to train staff. We sent about 16 or 17 to the Ghana Standards Authority. Now we are in the second phase, and for this second phase, through the project, they have been able to hire 2 consultancy bodies, one from South Africa and another one from Egypt. They have been with us, and what they are doing is that they are actually building our capacity to be able to implement the quality management system that will lead to accreditation. So for the last 2 weeks, we had the group that came from Egypt. They actually were attached to the testing department. They just left yesterday. And the other group, the other consultancy group, comes from South Africa. They are now with the certification department in order to strengthen their capacity. So on the Liberian Food Safety Initiative, we are now rolling out the second phase of the capacity development program. The first one was that we send people out. Now the consultants are with us now. To effect the competency of each of these departments. As a standards authority, the issue of actually developing our capacity that goes along with competence is highly important. In fact, it is the benchmark. Each analyst that works, for example, in the lab should be highly qualified in such a way that they are producing results or they are analyzing. And with this, whatsoever they produced actually affect the integrity of the institution, the test report, and every other thing like that. And each of these departments must be accredited, internationally accredited. So it's a rigorous exercise we are on, but the country will benefit because that will add to our credibility, the competence of the institution, and we can be on par with any other standards authority.
I hope you're getting fun time so Chris can go to and learn.
Obviously. He's our communication person.
I hope you can go there and learn some of the languages and know what's exactly obtaining there.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, for all departments, just like we have started with the technical departments currently. And then from there, we will be looking at the auxiliary units like the administrative department, coming to communication, IT, and customer service, and every other thing like that. So it's a big capacity development plan that we have.
Let's look at generally some of the gains you've made in instilling standards across the country. I know one of what you've talked about is how people are shortchanging people.
Yeah.
When you go to gas station, you go to places, people measure any kinds of way. You go in the market, a cup of rice, they knock the butt off the cup, and then instead of getting whole cup of rice, you get some short cup of rice. How are you working with that? What achievement or significant progress have you made so far in some of those areas since you took over?
Well, thank you very much. Those areas is what I call programs area.
Okay.
What we've been able to do, immediately after the president came, and then he dedicated our facility. Some of the issues he raised are those issues now currently we are following up on. As I told you last time, we have in place about 116 or 123 Liberian standards, and those standards cut across system products. And then what we have done is that we have launched the Liberian standardization program, And just yesterday we had the national technical management committee in place.
Okay.
We are addressing the structural issues to make sure our standardization program is properly structured, and then we move forward with the various committees. That is one part of the program phase to strengthen it. The next thing is that currently we have launched a national monitoring and surveillance program for building materials, building and constructional materials. So what that surveillance program will do is that we are going to look at the building materials landscape, especially when take to consideration steel, zinc, nails, based on the customer or consumer complaint that we have had.
Mm-hmm.
So with that survey, with that surveillance program, that will lead us to profile the quality of our program of those products currently in country, and that will also inform us as to how do we navigate this entire space in order to ensure that standards are applied. So some of the things that we are hoping to achieve out of this, we are going to profile the quality characteristic of all building materials in Liberia. And then what we have done also, we have been able to develop about 7 technical regulations, and one of those regulations actually covered building materials, which has to do with steel and every other thing. And in those technical regulations, we have stipulated standards, national standards that will be applied. The reason why they are technical regulations now is because of the consumer complaint. So with that will be those technical regulations will be enforced. So I can safely tell the Liberian populace that from now to October, we hope that our objective is to make sure that we can bring the entire building and construction material and sector on a proper guidance when it comes to standards, and to ensure that appropriate enforcement mechanism is in place.
What do you do if I brought consignment into the country of building materials that are not made here locally?
Yeah, currently we don't have a system in place that ensures that before ever they even come into the country, quality should be controlled from outside.
You don't have that system yet.
We don't have that system, and that's one thing we are currently doing, is to build up what we call the pre-shipment VOC, which is called verification of conformity. And this is how it works. We will have products that are very critical to us to come under this program, and what it means is that before ever this product enter the space, our commerce space, they will be checked for compliance at the supplier's destination place. So for example, if you are now to import zinc or steel, what will happen is that we will give you the standard for that steel, and you send it to your supplier. The supplier has to make sure that the steel actually conform with that standard. And then we engage a vendor that will ensure that it goes to the supplier. The vendor will go to the supplier's premise to check it, to make sure that the steel or the zinc or the nail meets the specification of the standard before ever Ministry of Commerce can give IBD for that consignment to be loaded on ship. You understand? But for you to allow the product to enter the country before you start checking it, I mean, it's very difficult and it can't work because most of the time, by the time it comes to the Wrepue, it's free, it's in the market, then we start chasing after it. No, that is not a good system, and that's why we are designing, and which is already in place for us to begin implementing the VOC, the pre-shipment verification or conformity of certain products that are very critical. So with that program in place, we'll be able to check the issue of quality of product before ever they are put on ship and sent to Liberia.
Any other country is coming from?
anywhere it is coming from.
Then that brings me to the next question about collaboration. We had a conversation here where you quite clearly admitted that you and your institution is kind of entering collaboration with some of the countries around. How far you've gone with that? If you want to implement what you just said, are you having conversation with other standard laboratory institutions in places like China? Take for example, where most of our goods will come from Toronto, Liberia. Whether you're talking about building material, even food stuff will come from China, Asia. I mean, the entire Asian region. Are you having that top level conversation? Have you started that?
Well, in fact, that was already in motion before the transition of the standards, National Standards Laboratory to a standards authority. And as currently, even the Ministry of Commerce, we are in conversation concerning the issue of the VOC. And prior to my ascendancy, I had an opportunity to visit China and to do some level of inspection.
Okay.
And that was on the current arrangement that is in place when it comes to, for example, you have the destination inspection. ARA is actually implementing. That contract with Meltec actually is a two-sided contract, which actually has the VOC aspect of it. So while that contract was going on, we had an opportunity as a technical team from Liberia to visit China and other countries to do inspection and to see what are the substantive issues that we have, in especially those countries that are very key when it comes to trade relationship. We also have had interest expressed by Chinese inspection and certification companies that have expressed interest to represent us in China and to ensure that they can carry out some inspection and certification on our behalf. But however, this is what actually happen in this kind of program. The first thing the first thing is that you have to know exactly the type of product that we are talking about. You have to know exactly the trading countries with Liberia. And then the next thing is that you have to also look at your own capacity. Whether you are able to actually implement these kind of programs. So we have gone past that, and currently we have in place a template of what exactly we want. And as I said, we also have visited other standards authority in other places like Ghana, where currently they are also implementing those this kind of program, the VOC. I've gone to Cameroon, I've gone to Kenya, and also I've gone to Sierra Leone, to look at what actually they are doing when it comes to the pre-VOC. So pretty well, I've had some background exactly what this program looks like and how other countries are actually implementing it. But the saddest thing among all the West African countries, Liberia is the only country that is not yet implementing the pre-VOC. And that's why we are pushing forward, because it's better for a country to protect the country from substandard goods. It's better for us to control quality from out than coming in the country. And if that must happen, that means we have to put into place a program and then have in place a vendor and that will be able to implement the program on our behalf to ensure that those critical products like building material, food items, those are that we call high-risk product or high-risk goods, quality control from out, and then allowing them to enter before we start to talk about quality.
Do we really have substandard materials on our market? If yes, to what extent?
Well, yes, because once products are not actually subscribing to standards and the country doesn't have such program, then the assumption is that we have substandard product within the commerce of Liberia. To what extent? Well, I don't have any imperial data to really say to what extent, but from consumer complaint, if we are to just open the airway, I will tell you that one of the issues when it comes to the commerce of Liberia is people complaining about.
Are you receiving direct? I mean, complaints from
obviously, we have had and we are having a lot of complaints. People call in and try to express themselves, and most especially when we go for some engagement with awareness and whatsoever. And some of the feedback we have gotten is that people are not too pleased, and they are not informed of the kind of safety or quality characteristic of their product. And we have something like when you pay for something, you should be able to derive the benefit for what you pay for. For example, if you buy a light bulb, you expect it to the lifespan to go to somewhere. But by the time you find out that the current strip, it goes off. You understand? You didn't buy it for one day. You bought it for some period of time. For example, the microphone we are using currently in here, how sure are we it is actually a standardized microphone?
Except that it comes from USA program.
Okay, even if it comes from USA program, but the issue is that this Mac has what we call electromatic. It should be controlled and every other thing like that. So even you buy it from America, if it come here, the issue is that it's supposed to provide certificate for it, and you also have to do monitoring and evaluation on a continuous basis of this product, so that its usefulness or its safety characteristic, it will not go, because it is in continual use and every other thing.
Sometimes we ourselves could be our problem. So I went to the market and saw somebody selling one sheet for $5.
Yeah.
There's another person selling it for $15.
Yeah.
I prefer to go for the one that costs $5.
Yeah.
That could be a substandard.
Yeah, obviously, I want to tell you that cheap is expensive. I always told people that. Cheap is expensive. For example, if you go to buy a product, it costs $5. Another one costs $15. Oh, this thing is cheap. Let me just buy it. Well, let me just bring a scenario. Let's look at news lifespan. You understand? You will buy a thing for $5, but you will change it in a month time. You have bought maybe several others
and spend more than the $15.
Spend more than the $15.
To get a long lifespan.
I understand. So cheap is expensive. You understand? So it goes with maybe your cell phone. You understand? You go, you see your cell phone, say $5 or $10. Oh, they want it cheap. Let me just use it and whatsoever. But you may end up buying, 3-4 times that cell phone than somebody who decided to buy a certified cell phone and use it for years. You understand? So that way it is. Sometimes I do agree that consumer has choice, but those choices should be informed choices, in a sense that if you go in the market and this product is costing $5, it should be characterized to know. One of the consumer or even a stakeholder informed me the other time. He said, "Do you understand that we pay premium price for cheap things here?" You understand? I didn't understand. Say that, for example, medicine.
Yeah.
The paracetamol that we buy here, if you check the amount and you go to England, the person just gave me an example that the money we pay for paracetamol and it's equivalent to the money that paracetamol is paid for in England, but that is premium price for a quality product. But we are paying the same thing for a cheaper product that we do not derive the benefit from. You understand? So you may go to Galley Street or you may go to Randolph Street, and what's where you see maybe prices are high and every other thing. It still does not authenticate that those things are of standard, except they are verified, they are certificated, and then that's why we have this institution in place. And our institution does not just deal with product, but it cuts across every sector. Okay. Every sector, education, service sector. Currently, we are engaged with the tourism sector. We have provided standards for hotels and every other thing.
Oh,
that
you've
they can
done that?
use. Yeah, we have done that. We have engaged with them. Currently, we are.
How are they complying, by the way?
Well, it's a newly formed institution. So what they're doing is that they are incorporating those standards into their regulations.
Are you monitoring them?
No, currently we have not started that program. As I said, we only engage them, and then we make them to have.
Okay.
In fact, those standards are ECOWAS standards, and we also engage with the RREA on the issue of solar products. And currently, we are verifying solar product that comes into this country. And also, currently, we are working with the Liberia Electricity Regulatory Commission.
Okay. LERC.
Yeah, because they have technical
regulatory.
regulation for electrical products and that of electrotechnic product. So we are working on modalities that between October and November, we are going to roll out a lot of programs to curtail the issue of source tender product when it comes to electrical product. So we are actually engaging stakeholders, especially regulators, in those critical sector: electricity, electronics, building materials and construction materials. We also have the issue of energy. And then when you come to the environment, so there are certain sectors that are very key. And also we are synchronizing our approach with the AID, which has various sectors to make sure that standards are available and those programs that are necessary to enforce those standards that are in place.
Will we one day reach a point where we have a market stable? When I say stable, now maybe not 100%, but where we can boast that our laboratory are testing materials that are coming on arrival, and then the pre-testing, you talk about pre-testing arrival is also done, so that we free our markets of these products, some of which are far below the belt for human consumption or usage.
Yeah, in fact, in our 5-year strategic plan, those are targets that we have set. But there's one thing I want to say, the issue of substandard product in Liberia has existed before our institution. And in order to address this in a more sustainable way, we have to make sure that the policy area is addressed, through the infrastructure area is addressed, and then we come to capacity is addressed, and then the issue of programs. They are put into place, and these programs should synchronize with international best practice and to ensure that we have stakeholders engagement. Currently, that's the framework we are working on, and I hope that by the time this time next year, I can safely say that most of the more critical products that are at risk who have been brought on a pre-VOC program. And two, we are targeting that by next year, almost about 7 to 8 of our labs will be internationally accredited, and they will have the capacity to test. And we are focusing currently on our labs that will be able to test, for example, fertilizer and pesticide residue. Lab that will be able to support the value chain when it comes to food, cocoa, and rice. And then we will also have in place the material testing lab. And for that, in fact, the Ministry of Commerce and the Ministry of Finance has expressed serious interest to make sure that by next year we establish the building and material lab that will support the government interest to ensure that product on the Liberian market they are standardized. So I can give you the assurance that by next year, time like this, significant level of coverage of our product that are now very much at stake when it comes to consumer trust in their quality and safety will be brought to a more organized standardization regime, and the conformity assessment services when it comes to testing, when it comes to certification inspection, will be in place to give the confidence to the Liberian people that those products are actually under a standard regime program. And then next thing is that we can show that we will also instill an effective surveillance and monitoring to ensure that even at our border points, our market points, we are there sampling, we are there inspecting to make sure that the issue of cross-border trade does not really affect us as it is.
You will need manpower as well.
Yeah, obviously, and that's why just yesterday we had a manpower hearing with the CSA, justifying why our manpower had to be increased, because looking at, for example, the issue of decentralization of our services is a critical component of the AID, and the government is encouraging every entity to make sure that they decentralize. So yesterday, even in our council meeting, David, yesterday we had a council meeting and a council approved of our present at critical border points and even at the port. Okay. So these are programs that we are rolling out, and the council members have realized that, look, we have to move forward quickly to assure the Liberian people that what comes into this country or what is produced into this country is actually standardized. So it is a basic concern currently across the government to ensure that the Standards Authority actually accelerate its programs and services that cost across the country, not only in Wrepue.
Mr. Stephen Wild Mambu is the Director General and Chief Executive Officer of the Liberia Standards Authority, appointed by President Joseph Boakai in October 2024. He's listed some of the major challenges confronting that institution and gains he's made so far. He's also given his words that by this time next year, we will have gone far in some of the developments we are confronted with on today. Let's hear from you, the public. Maybe you have some calls. We are talking about standards in the country. Before the calls can come in, are there new things you're doing we didn't talk about while we are with the calls?
Oh yes. Obviously, what we are currently doing, like we are expanding the scope of our services. Okay. Yeah, especially as I said last time, the issue of measurement is very critical. So within the 7 regulation, one of the regulations that we are implementing now is what we call pre-packaged product. So what it means is that, for example, all the products that are packaged outside of the notice of the consumer, like for example, cement, rice, flour, we have a regulation in place now that at every store or where it is distributed or sold, there should be a scale, so that when you go to buy and you pay for 25 kg of rice, the vendor should have a scale there, so that the consumer puts the rice to verify the quantity. Okay. So that's one thing that we are expanding scope to cover all pre-packaged product. The next thing we have done is that we have gone into a memorandum of understanding with the rubber sector development initiative, where we are also looking at fair trade with the rubber corporations, because they have complained that where rubber latex, when you go to buy, they have to weigh in, because based on the way they are paid, and the rubber development initiative or corporation reached out to us that they want the services of the Standards Authority to ensure that wheresoever rubber is sold, whether using scale, those scales should be calibrated, so that there must be used. So we are expanding the scope of our services, even to the cocoa sector now. We are making advances to those sectors.
Great. Let's talk to a few people. Hello.
Good evening.
Let's hear you, boss.
Yeah, okay. Good evening to you and your studio guests. Hi, Honorable Director. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you very much.
Now, you talk about this standard authority or regime in this country. I think it's very laudable. But my concern is that, Liberia, when it comes to having the basic infrastructure, because for you to do quality control, you must have some of the infrastructure in place to do investigation or material. For instance, if you have a steel rod, you go to the steel rod manufacturing company. do you have the technical innovation and the infrastructure to know as to whether the material specifications are in line? Because those are some of the things that need to be in place. For instance, the food we bring in the place. Liberia is the only country. Liberia is the only country around the region that the importation of frozen material is so at the prevalent. How are they going to watch those consumer items? Because in Nigeria, you have the consumer watch. They are very keen. If you eat chicken in Nigeria or Guinea or Ghana, it means it was living the kitty.
Okay.
Yeah. But Liberia, it's just kind of difficult for to get all of these things ongoing.
Thank you. Let's show you right there. Others are on the line. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Let's hear you.
Yes, it's Blabla, and I call from West Point.
Go ahead, bossman.
My question has to do with the police and all of the media.
The what?
I said the police and the media.
No, we're talking different thing. Hello? What police be they can do a stand up? Hello?
Hello, Trokon.
Let's hear you.
I'm Amos D. Corey and calling from Brazil.
Go ahead, Amos.
Trokon, in the country, we like to talk, but the action can be slow. I listened to the guy for 3-4 times. But I don't really see any action for now. Look at, for example, look at the food that we eat on the market. Look at our own domestic food. The vegetable will grow. The purple. People, the market will need to carve out on it for you to get food so to get rest. It's possible money they are tasted. What are they doing about this thing? Even the rest we bad from the store. Some of the rest they are just tasted. You cook it, they get, sometimes it only takes about 10 minutes. It's poor. What are they doing with the loaf, the hanging fruit thing?
Okay.
If you go to the hard one. They're not doing anything, but look at.
And you ask questions, let them answer that. Don't say they didn't do anything. Yes. Yeah, he will respond to what they're doing. I think all of us got to support them because in the midst of resource constraints and everything they go through, it's not easy for them. But let's talk to at least 2 more persons. Hello?
Yeah. Look on other evening.
I'm okay. Let's hear you.
Yeah. Thank you to the studio guest. I'm having Peter senior calling my chicken for Jacob. My concern with this thing that the authority has to do with the issue of the agro chemical. And majority of the agrochemical coming into this country is written in foreign languages.
Yeah.
So my question to your guest: what is the state authority doing to regulate the agrochemical that is coming into the country? Because
you asked a question. Let's show you there. We don't have enough time. Hello, you the last person. 30 seconds. Are you there?
Calling from. Yes, hello.
Yeah, go ahead quickly.
I call from Cinco.
Okay.
Quickly, Trokon, I must congratulate your studio guest. But then he talks a lot about the outside regulation. But then inside here, we have a lot of how we call it, vendors who are producing substandard materials.
Yeah, local production.
Certain brothers, they are making those steel nails that can bend in the wall. The last time, Abu Bana Kamara, our representative, his horse fell down. The Apostle Kuma, he lost a church. The church went down. Those are substandard material that cause all of that. So we should start from Liberia.
Sometimes it can be substandard material, it can be engineering fault. Yeah, so let's talk so and talk so.
But the substandard nails that can bend when you the steel nails in the wall, it can bend. That very substandard.
Okay, let's show you there, Mr. Director General. Let's come back to you 2 minutes. Let's work within that time. You should soon be.
First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone who asked their question. And some of these questions are questions that are very valid and of our own concern. Someone talked about the quality infrastructure that we have in place. If the infrastructure currently can support us in investigating or carrying out tests? My answer is that the quality infrastructure currently is not adequate. We still have gaps in our testing, certification, inspection. And that actually brings us to the point that we need resources as it is. The next person talked about what are we doing with some of the food items, the issue of rice, and then what are actually doing with domestic production. We talking about. Look, what currently we are doing is that, as I said, some of these things existed before us. So we are putting together the mechanism to ensure that the proper policy, the proper program, and then the capacity that we need to be able to address these things are put into place. And it is not just the issue of standards authority. We are working along with other institutions to address this. Even up to yesterday, these things were highlighted. So I can give you a promise that from now, as I said, from now until next year, some of the basic concern will be addressed, food inspection, certification, and also to ensure that those domestically produced food item or non-food item actually come under a proper standard program that I can assure you. And then we talk about the agri sector, agri chemicals. Yeah, I do notify that currently we are working with the Ministry of Agriculture, even as I said, we have discussed that to make sure that now for every product, agricultural chemicals that will come into this country, we ensure that it meets standards. Because I must attest, Trokon, there are many chemicals that are on the market. They are banned substances in other countries, and these are things that we shouldn't be using. But currently, they are discriminately used. So I also notified that. And lastly, Trokon,
yes, I'll remember through that one with other time already.
Yeah, we want to say thank you. We some of the questions that we may not be able to answer now.
We'll still have you back.
Yeah, for today. But thank you very much.
Thank you so much. He's Mr. Mambu, the Director General there at the Liberia Standards Authority. My name is Trokon Wrepue. Thanks to Blessing Him and Abraham Cannon, who took us on Facebook and YouTube. Have a wonderful day. Monday's holiday. Julia's going to be here on Tuesday.